and welcome to the Celtic Yogi Bells. I'm Elaine and I'm going to teach you some yoga. I'm going to take you first of all, because I appreciate that maybe some of you have never done yoga before or have done sort of yoga on and off over the years and might have forgotten a lot of the postures or where to put your feet and all that sort of stuff. So I'm just going to do a general hatha class with basic postures. Now we're going to hold them for, well, we'll try and hold them for a good 20 seconds, 30 seconds to begin with. Just so that I've got enough time to explain where you want to be standing, what you want to be doing, and what you want to be aware of. So we'll do some of the basic postures that I use all the time because they are, you know, original and best really. And I bring most, if not all of them into classes because they are just the traditional best ones. They allow for, all yoga postures allow for fully integrated systems in the body. So your respiratory, your hormonal, all these systems in your body start to balance when you practice yoga. So it's a great practice to do for general health and well-being as well for that reason. So we're just going to start in a comfortable cross-legged position, Sukhasana, and we'll just start with the connection of the breath. So just take some nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Allow the belly to expand with the inhale, drop the shoulders. Just take these breaths in. These are known as the Ujjayi breath, the victorious breath. So you're breathing in through the nose, allowing the belly to expand, and as you exhale, you can just gently be bringing the tummy back towards the spine, but don't get too hung up about it. It's more about breathing in and out regularly. So we'll take another 2 deep breaths in. Your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in, bring the arms up to the ceiling and exhale back down. And again, inhale and exhale. And again, inhale. Well done, and exhale. Okay, take the hands onto the shoulders. We're going to make deep circles with the elbows. Bring your elbows round in 3 deep circles one way, and then when we've done the third one, we're going to reverse and come the other way for 3 deep circles. Try and make the circles as deep as you can. Just opening up the shoulders here. Okay, coming back into centre. Hands onto the knees. Take a nice deep breath in and take your chin to the chest on the exhale. Inhale, lift the head. And bring it all the way back on the shoulder girdle, looking up towards the ceiling. Inhale back to centre. Exhale the head all the way to the right. Keep the shoulders and chest facing forward. Back to centre. On the inhale, exhale the head to the left. And back to centre. Well done. Okay, I want you to take the left hand behind your behind your back, and I want you to try and grab the fingers, like so, okay? So you're just holding that hand on that right hand side of the body, and then I want you to take the head over to the right. Keep the breathing nice and steady. So as you do this, you're feeling a nice lengthening through the neck and into the shoulder. So it just gives the trapezius muscle a really nice stretch. Just breathe. Keep breathing and relaxing that left shoulder down towards the ground. Coming coming back to centre. Good. Take the other hand round the other side. So now we're doing the same the other way. And then we're going to take a nice deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to take the head to the left. And again, bring the right shoulder down towards the floor and just feel that lovely stretch in the neck. This is just our warm-up phase I like to do at the beginning of every yoga session. Okay, keep breathing. 3, 4, and 5. Coming back up to centre. Okay, well done. Take a nice deep breath in. Take the right hand down to the left arm up and bring it all the way over. Now keep your sitting bones on the floor. Don't roll over onto that right sitting bone. Keep both sitting bones on. Take that left arm over as far as you can. Keep the shoulder down. Breathing in and exhaling. Good. And then inhale that arm back. Bring up the right. Over you go. Again, you're wanting to just lengthen through that side of the body. So bring it all the way over. And come back. And again, left arm up, over, opening up the whole of the sides of the body. Good, and back over. Inhale up, the right, and over. Breathing in and out. That's wonderful. Well done. Bring that right arm up. Okay, good. Right, bring the feet out in front. You're going to do a point and flex of the toes. Okay, so point and flex the toes. I'm going to bring some activation into the core now. Alright, so what I want you to do is I want you to lift up the pelvic floor. Okay, so lifting up the pelvic floor is like sucking in up towards the cervix, okay? Take the hands behind, take the one leg down and just raise the right leg up. Okay, so the higher you can manage the better, but don't worry if you're only getting your leg a little bit off the floor. If your hip flexors and quads need a little bit more strength in them, you'll find that this is an excellent warm-up for you to do that, in actual fact. So we're just going to hold this up for as long as we can, up to the count of 10. If you are struggling, come down, but please make sure your pelvic floor is still engaged all the way through this. So the pelvic floor is basically what's called the Muladhara, the Mulabandha, which is residing just down at your Muladhara chakra. Alright, and then you want your Uddiyana Bandha, which is the strip along from the belly button to the pubic bone back towards the spine. But you want your belly to be nice and soft still, so that you can still breathe. Okay, we'll bring that leg down. You're struggling there a wee bit. So the pelvic floor is the Mulabandha. You'll hear me talking about that quite a bit. The Uddiyana Bandha is the strip along here from the belly button to the pubic bone. You want to try and be bringing that back towards the spine. But it's quite difficult to do, and it will come with practice, because you still want to keep the belly nice and soft so you can breathe in nice and deeply. Okay, hands back. Try again the other side. You're raising the left leg, and again keep that pelvic floor nicely strong. Even if you have that pelvic floor strong, if that's what you can manage just now to remember to do, then that's enough to keep all the lower back protected as well as all the area around that whole pelvic area, so that's good. So we're just going to keep this leg up high. If you're struggling, bring it down, but if you are quite used to Rhonda's kettlebell classes, for example, you'll probably find this not that difficult. Alright, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Alright, just bring the knees up to the chest, come back onto the sacrum again, pelvic floor, knees to the chest, hold the knees together, up towards the chest, take the arms out. We're just going to hold the position, hold the balance. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Come back down into cross-legged. Alright, the final little warm-up we're going to do today is a nice warm-up twist, which I like to bring in regularly. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in again. Then we're going to take the left hand to the right knee. The right hand comes behind. We'll show you like so. And you just take that gaze over to the right. Keeping the back nice and upright, the chest lifted. Breathing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Come back to centre. Take a deep breath in again. Arms up, and then the other side. Right hand to the left knee, left hand comes behind. Lift up in the chest, take the shoulders down, gaze over the left shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Okay, we're going to come forward onto our knees into tabletop position. So it's a relatively gentle class today, okay? I just want to show you the basic moves that we use regularly as we progress with our yoga classes. More the postures become more challenging, but these are the ones that are always good to start with. So we're in a tabletop position, knees hip width apart, hands are directly under the shoulders, shoulder width apart. I'm just going to do some cats and cows. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in. We're going to bring the tummy towards the floor, the bottom to the ceiling, and the head up towards the ceiling with a nice deep inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to round the shoulders, push down into the hands, and bring the tummy back towards the spine on that exhale. Inhale again, and exhale. And inhale, and exhale. And inhale, and exhale. One more. Inhale. This is a great exercise to do in the morning. You just got out of bed, you stiff back, and then come back onto the heels into extended child's pose. Now this might be tricky for some of you as well, depends on your knees. This is extended child's pose, and I would recommend that if you feel dizzy at all through your practice, this is always a good one to come to, or you can come into full child's pose, which is like so, arms down by your side. Don't ever feel you can't come into child's pose throughout any of your practice. It's always a good recovery position. But in this case, we're in extended child's pose, okay? So just take it nice and easy. We're going to come up, and we're going to take the knees the width of the mat. We're going to take the balls of the feet together on the tiptoes here. And we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to bring our bodies back, down towards the heels, so you're opening up the hips. And as you bring your chest down to the floor, bring your forehead down onto the floor, you're just opening up the shoulders, lengthening through the spine, and opening up the hips as well. And bringing some action into the toes. So breathing 2, 3, 4, and 5. Brilliant. Bring yourself back up. Bring the knees to hip width apart again, and the feet to hip width apart. We're going to come right into downward dog. Now, downward dog is one of the best postures in the world. Alright, so it's quite tricky. Many of you will still have your legs bent because your hamstrings are just too tight, and that's okay, as long as you have a nice straight spine. Now, rather than doing this, so you're bringing all your weight to your hands, push the bottom up and back towards the ceiling behind you, and that will automatically shift the weight from here back into the heels and the backs of the thighs, which immediately lengthens the spine. So you want to try and get your heels touching the ground, but that might be tricky for some, so don't worry if you're still up on your tiptoes and not quite there. It's absolutely fine, particularly if you're a beginner. Okay, you want to be activating your mula bandha here. You're zipping up that pelvic floor, which will automatically engage all that area around here, around the back and the tummy. And you want to be bringing your chest down towards the floor, and then you want to take your gaze up towards your navel. So you can find a comfortable position for your shoulders. In terms of, you want to try and bring your shoulders down towards the floor. Okay, so you want to try and externally rotate those shoulders outwards.
So you're going to take a nice deep breath in here. This is also one of the first inversions perhaps you've done, so you will feel a bit of a rush of blood to the head. But that's all good in terms of oxygenating the brain. So just holding here. Some people like to have their feet together in downward dog. That's more classical hatha style. That's absolutely fine if you prefer that. I tend to do most of it with my feet hip width apart, more Ashtanga style, just because I did Ashtanga for years. Okay, so now, what we're going to do now is we're going to bring our right foot up to the hands. Now this is maybe a bit tricky, you might think, how on earth am I going to do that? So just come up on the tiptoes, bring that right foot up to the hands. Now you might want to get it here, in which case you can just help it along with your hand. Alright, and we're going to come down into a nice low lunge. So take that left knee back as far as you can. Make sure the knee is not over the toe. It should be really directly above your ankle. And your hands are down here, alright? Or if you're really struggling, you can just have your hands with your fingertips a little bit like this. And if you're really struggling, you can have your hands on your knee for the moment. And I think most people could probably get to the point where their low lunge is that they bring their body down in that space. So just lifting up in the chest, looking up, just taking it nice and easy. So this is stretching out the hip flexors and the quads as well. Again, a lovely stretch to do if you've been doing some strong exercise, particularly Rhonda's fitness classes. And I just want you to hold that position. 3, 4, and 5. Okay, we're going to just curl the left toes under now. We're going to come back up, alright? Now, in this position here, we're going to come into high lunge. Okay, so the back leg is straight and strong. If you need to bring a bend in it, that's okay. Alright, so you're coming into a high lunge here. Bring the body up and the shoulders down, and you can bring the hands up. Hold it nice and steady. Now this is a hard posture to hold for long, so make sure your pelvic floor is still engaged. Keep the balance. Keep it nice and steady through that front foot. Keep the hips square forward. You can take the gaze slightly up towards the ceiling. And we'll hold for 1, 2, 3. Keep that pelvic floor and breathing going. 5. Well done. Bring the hands down. Now just take that right foot back now again, back into downward dog, okay? We'll just take 3 deep breaths here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, as with all things with yoga, we bring balance. So we're going to bring that left foot up to the hands, okay? And don't worry, if you're just not managing to get it up, you can help it along like I showed you. So bring that right knee back as far as you can, and you're lifting up with the chest. Keeping the pelvic floor engaged and the breath steady. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Alright, we're going to just curl the right toes under and we're going to come up into our high lunge this side. Okay, again, pelvic floor, nice and strong. Arms up. Keep it steady. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Hands down, back to downward dog. Take 2 breaths here. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, well done. Alright, we're going to just walk the hands up towards the feet. Alright, now if you can, just take the hands into grabbing the elbows and just allow yourself to hang here. Now again, you might need to bring a bend in the knees, that's okay. Over time, you'll be able to do this with straight legs. And we're just going to swing gently from side to side, just allow the head to hang, keep that pelvic floor engaged, breathe. And some of you may be able to come down and grab your toe. If you can grab your toes, that's fantastic. Just gently pull up the toes with the hands as you allow your top half of the body just to come down towards the floor. And again, if you need to bring a bend in the knees, that's okay. Sometimes hamstrings can be really tight, so you do want to be careful with them and just bring your practice up steadily with your hamstrings as you go. You always need to do what's right for you. Keep it nice and steady. I always find my spine goes back into position. I love this. Okay. Okay, slowly ragdoll yourself up. Okay, just watch that blood rush to the head. Because you're not used to inversions, you'll find that quite strong. Okay, so another few postures I'd like to bring in. We're going to bring in our triangle, Utthita Trikonasana, okay? So we're going to bring that right foot out to the side. And we'll take that left foot back slightly, with the toes slightly turned into the mat, to yourself, okay? So about 45 degrees. You want the length between both feet to be roughly your leg length, alright? So that's right for you. You want to try and keep that right leg straight if you can, so if you lift up the kneecaps, you can create strength through the legs. Now we want our pelvis facing forward here, alright? So we're going to bring our arms up to shoulder height on the inhale, and we're going to exhale. We're going to reach out that right hand as far as we can, and then we're going to come down towards the toes. Now, a lot of people will maybe only get to about here, okay, because this is all very tight. So don't worry about getting all the way down to the toe. And the last thing you want to do is come forward, because you're going to get down and get the arm up. It's a side stretch, okay? So the pelvis is forward, arms are up, you reach out with the right hand and come down as far as you can, all right? Don't dump any weight on that leg with this hand, because that just puts pressure on your knee joint, okay? If you're lifting up the knees, you're protecting the knee and the hamstrings. Now, ideally, you want to look up towards that left hand, but if you've got any neck issues, you can just keep your head comfortably facing forward, just like I am, if you need to. Now, keep the pelvic floor engaged and surrender down that left side. It's a beautiful posture. I love this. Really lengthens through here, gets rid of a lot of the muffin top stuff going on here that we all don't like. Okay, 3, 4, and 5. Come back up again. Alright, now we're going to swivel the feet. So we're going to swivel the feet round. So the left foot is now facing forward, the right foot is now turned in. Pelvis is round to the front. Reach out with the left hand this time and come down. Always bring balance. Always do your postures both sides, so you're not in any doubt. Ashtanga yogas can grab their toes if they're that far down, but again, please don't worry if you're only here. That's absolutely fine. You need to allow your body to open like that lotus flower when it is ready, and with gentle, constant practice you will get there. Okay, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Come back up again. Alright, bring your feet now into a star position. Okay, so we're going to do Prasarita Padottanasana. So we're just again lifting up the kneecaps, engaging the core. Take a nice deep breath in, and we're going to come forward and bring our hands down towards the mat. Now, if you've got your hands on the mat, try and bring your fingertips in line with your toes. If you're only here, that's okay. Just try and hold it like so. Lifting the kneecaps will again keep everything strong. If you're down to this position, you're just wanting to get your head pointing down towards the floor and pushing the energy out through the back of the thighs. So you're keeping that pelvis nice and neutral. Breathing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, we're going to slowly come up. I'm going to show you a little variation to that posture. We're going to take the hands behind our back and we're going to clasp our fingers together like so. Alright? Now, I'm going to keep the legs again strong, pelvic floor. Take the shoulders down.
Deep breath in, and as you exhale, come forward once more, but at the same time, you're going to bring your arms up and over. Now again, beginners can quite often not get their hands any higher than this because their shoulders are really tight, okay? So don't worry about that, just bring them up as high as you can and just try and bring them over when you can. But up this far is fine. Just open the shoulders. You can roll the shoulders back and forth if they're a little bit tight. Okay, let's hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Coming back up all the way. So at some point in the future, you'll get your hands all the way down to the floor. I did do that once, but not anymore. All right, okay, so you're just going to roll your feet in, have a wee nice jump. Right, okay, now we're going to go and do the warriors, okay? I love the warriors. I bring them in regularly because they're just fantastic at getting everything going. They detoxify the spine, they get all the central nervous system really going strong. I love warriors. So warriors are similar to the triangle. It's the same feet distance and the same feet positioning. Okay, now different schools of yoga teach different things. I often, in this position, have my heel in line with my instep, but some yoga schools say have your heel in line with the ball of your toe. Do what feels right for you. So rather than having your pelvis floor around here like with triangle, we're bringing our pelvis round, so we're facing that extended leg, okay? But we are now bending that extended leg, just as deep as you can. So you might need to just adjust your feet slightly, all right? Try not to roll too much in on that back foot. Try and keep it steady and strong through the mat. So the pelvis is forward, we're bringing the arms up, and we're going to hold this position. So the arms come up, you want to maybe try and see if you can just take your gaze up towards the thumbs, keep it strong in the pelvic floor, keep the balance steady and hold. Now we often hold these positions for at least, 1 minute plus, but ideally 3 to 5 minutes is a great way to build up to holding postures like this for that length of time. Keep the shoulders down but the chest lifted. Breathing through. Keep it steady. We'll just hold for another few breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, keep the legs where they are, but you're now going to bring your pelvis round to the front and take your arms out to the side. And then you look at that right middle finger. Again, keep the arms exactly in line. Engage your triceps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now I love to do this one here. Bring the left hand behind, bring the right hand under, grab your hand, and then come a bit deeper down into the lunge. Okay, we're going to hold this for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come back up. We'll just finish with the reverse warrior. So left hand comes behind and the right hand comes up. Again, you want to come out as deep as you can. Hold steady for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Butterfly those hands down. Come back into plank here. Okay, we're just going to come to plank. Hold it nice and steady through the core. Hands should be shoulder width apart. Hands are directly under the shoulders. Keep it nice and steady. And we're going to gently lower ourselves down to the floor and into Sphinx. Okay, so Sphinx. Another great one for your back. Just take it easy. lifting up in the chest. There's lots of variations to this posture. Just take a few deep breaths here. Alright, we're going to bring our hands into Cobra here. So we're going to bring our hands under the shoulders now. I'm going to take a nice deep breath in and lift as high as you can. Now, keep your arms bent in Cobra, because usually if you're not used to a back bend, it can be really tricky, this one. So if this is really a struggle for you, then come back to Sphinx, okay? For those who are a bit more advanced, you can come all the way up into straight arms, into an upward dog position, or just keep the arms bent, Cobra. Just breathing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Come down. And then slowly bring yourself back into that extended child's pose once more. That allows a counter pose to your back from that small back bend. So again, just take it easy. Remember, when you're moving from postures, just try and keep that pelvic floor engaged. Just helps to support your back. Okay, right, let's come back up again into downward dog, and we'll do the very same dancing warrior sequence the other side, okay? So you want to bring that left foot up to the hands, okay? And in fact, I'll do it the other way, so I'm not turning my back to you. So, left foot up, right foot slightly turned back in, okay? This time the pelvis is coming forward to that extended leg. Bend that knee down, nice and deeply, and bring the arms up into warrior 1, okay? Let's keep the shoulders down, arms are reaching up towards the ceiling, gaze up towards the thumbs, hold it steady in that back leg. Holding for 1, 2, 3, keep that pelvis forward and pelvis engaged. 4, and 5. Keep the legs where they are. Bring the pelvis round to the front and the arms out extended. Gaze at that left middle finger. Engage the triceps. Holding 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring that right hand behind, left hand under, make that bind, and then lunge a little bit deeper on that left leg, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Coming back up again. Keep that leg bent. We'll come back into reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Butterfly those hands down. Back to plank. Keep it steady in the core. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now remember, come down, but you can bring the knees down first and then come down. That's the easier version. Okay, right, so we're going to do Shalambhasana. So we're going to bring our hands up in front and we're going to lift up our legs and our hands and our chest. Okay, so we're going to take a nice deep breath in, engage the core nice and strongly, and we're going to lift up the feet and the hands. We're going to hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come back down. Now that might be quite tricky for some of you because it's strong in the back. So if you need to engage your glutes a little bit, just to support your back, do so. But your pelvic floor, if it's engaged nicely and strongly, will support your back also.
So let's come up again, we'll try and hold for 10. So engage your core, lift up with an inhale. Remember to keep your breathing steady, don't hold your breath. A lot of people do, but just try and keep and maintain a steady breath. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well done! Alright, because I know we're short of time, let's bring the hands underneath. Try and just get as many of the basic postures understood and known. So just come back down. You can come into full child's pose here for a little rest. Just to get your breath back. 3, 4, and 5. Good, coming back up. All right, now we're going to bring the knees together. I'm going to come and do something that looks very simple, but it's actually quite uncomfortable for lots of people. But when you get to the point you can do this with ease, it really does open up so much of flexibility in the tops of your feet and your ankles and your knees. So we're just going to, I'll show you for those who can manage it, take the weight back on the heels and lift up the knees in balance, okay? For many of you that would be like, oh, it's excruciating, so just take it easy, in which case I would suggest you start with taking your hands back first of all and get used to bringing your weight back on to the heels, so the tops of your feet get a nice stretch. Then you can start to lift one knee at a time, okay? And then when you can start to take away the hands, and start to lift one knee at a time, okay? Until you can eventually get to the point where you can come back, lift the knees and balance. Some people find this no problem at all. It depends if you're used to sitting on your knees a lot, you probably find this is absolutely no problem at all. If you're not somebody who does that a lot, you might find this quite tricky. But it's a wonderful way to open up the shins, the tops of the feet, ankles, all the areas we don't tend to concentrate on particularly. Alright, so we're going to come down. That's another one I like to do a lot of because it can start to grow postures from that particular one. So these are all the basic ones. As we move forward, we'll do more complicated postures, but these are all quite a lot of selections of good ones that I like. Alright, so we're going to come now round onto our bottom. We do a lot of Paschimottanasana in the class, a lot of front forward folds. So again, legs straight out in front, toes pointing up towards the ceiling, engage the core, take a nice deep breath in and come forward. Okay, so again, some of you might only be here because your lower back is preventing you and the connective tissue that runs from your head all the way down to your toes is tight. So this might be as far as you can get, that's absolutely fine. What you want to avoid though is lifting your knee up just to get down, that doesn't help anything. So you're better to have the legs straight and not get so far than this. Okay? So we're coming down as far as we can into our front forward fold. It's a great one for your abdominals. It's also a fantastic one for your hamstrings, of course. And it opens up the whole back and shoulders. And I bring this in a lot into the practice, so it's good. What you want to be like is having your body like a hinge. So you're not rounding yourself, you're coming down with a nice straight back like a hinge on a door. Okay? Okay, let's hold for 2, 3, 4, and 5. Well done. Oh, good. Coming back up, we're just going to bring in a little twist today, all right? And this nice gentle one. So we're going to just take that right foot over in line with our calf. All right, right foot over, both sitting bones on the floor. Take a nice deep breath in. Turn around on the exhale to the right. Take the hand behind you for support, and then take the left elbow over the right knee. Now we're going to lift in the chest, shoulders down. Take a nice deep breath. Keep breathing. Okay, this is a gentle twist. This is just a gentle twist, but it will start to activate the digestive system. And twists are great for
detoxification. I mean, imagine twists are like a washing machine, you know, just washing machine for your innards. Twists are fantastic. Not only do they do that, but they also realign your spine again as well. So it brings balance back in to your body. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come back to centre. Take that right foot down again. Take a nice deep breath in, come forward for another forward fold. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Slowly come back up again. Well done. Other side, left foot over in line with the right calf. Nice deep breath in, take a turn to the left, take that right elbow over, and just take some nice deep breaths in. Three, 4, and 5. Well done. Come round to the centre. This time, take your feet, the soles of your feet together, and your feet in this position, maybe about 1.5 feet away from your body. Nice deep breath in, exhale, come forward, and we're just going to relax here. Again, this is allowing the lower back to have a nice stretch. It's also opening up the hips. It's taking the pressure off the hamstrings a little bit. This is a yin posture, the butterfly, which is lovely because you can really enjoy sitting in this for quite a length of time. It's a great hip opener. Because us in the West spend our lifetimes sitting on chairs and sofas and things, so we tend to have very tight hips, and that's why we have problems with our hips generally in the West. Whereas a lot of people in the East sit cross-legged a lot, or they hunker down in squatting positions waiting for the bus to arrive, or quite often they're doing their cooking, in fact, in that position, or you know, they're sitting at low tables, like in Japan, for example. So they do a lot of sort of squatting down, which is great for their hip health generally. Whereas we haven't done that, so we need to train our hips to open up gently. But when you do, you find that the flexibility you have is so much better. Your posture improves as well, because as you're doing so, all these yoga practices, and obviously any fitness that you do, Rhonda's kettlebell classes are a classic example as well of strengthening all around here, around the pelvic floor, around the hips, hip flexors, quads. And again, if all of these things are strong here, and the psoas muscles down into this area here, then your posture starts to improve incredibly. So all these postures, even if you think you're just sitting here going, well, what's this actually doing? I'm not getting a sweat up. Don't you believe it? You are working on a very, very deep cellular level, and you're opening up your body. And as you open up your body as well, you are releasing so many toxins out of stiff bits of tissue, joints, bits that have been stuck for years. So it's always advisable to drink lots of water as well, particularly when you start a yoga practice, because it works so much deeper than you think. And I was one of those people that thought, oh, I'm not getting a sweat up, what's it doing to me? I have never looked back than actually starting a proper yoga practice. It's incredible. I just opens up your world. It really does. But it is also the best complement to Rhonda's classes as well, because if you can get the best of both worlds, you want that sweat up, you want that exercise and that heart rate and everything, and then the yoga, it's a powerhouse. It really is a powerhouse for your health and well-being for sure. And then bring the meditation in, Bob's your uncle. Right, okay, so that's some basic postures for you. I'm going to be doing a vinyasa flow next time, so that you can get a little bit more used to what's going on with that, bringing a bit more movement and flow. So we're going from one posture to another posture, so we'll be bringing in a lot more postures with that as well. But these are the general ones that I work with and I like to use a lot. I bring in back bends as well. We'll learn how to do all of those over the course as well, and there's lots of classes on the website, of course, that bring in so many more postures as well, and challenges and twists. So all of which I think are quite well scripted so that you can understand what you're doing. But these are the basic ones, so if you can practice and start with this, you're well on your way to building a good steady practice and opening up your body in wonderful ways. Right, so I'm just going to finish. I finish every class. I always encourage you to have a Shavasana at the end, of course, which you can do with a guided meditation, but I always like to finish my class in a nice cross-legged position. I bring our hands into Anjali Mudra, which is just a prayer position in front of the heart, and I like to make the sound of Mother Earth. So a deep Om. So I take a deep breath in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Well done. Well done, everybody. See you next time.